Hi, I'm Kim.
And I'm Andy.
And together we are the I Wonder Sisters. So, welcome everybody to Love and Libations. Yes, even though this is a whiskey glass, it's beer.
Beer.
I'm not that tough. Not most of the time. Anyway, welcome. You can drink whatever you like. Some distilled water with lemon, tea, coffee,
Rum.
rum, wine. Yes. So welcome. It's Thursday again, and we want to talk about a couple things today. So one of the things that I first want to just get out of the way is why you cannot comment under our videos. It's on purpose. Okay. And I had explained this when in the beginning when we first started up again doing videos, and we lost that video and I just haven't done it since. But I want to say that I watch a lot of YouTube, and I'm a fan of a lot of YouTubers. And I hear them talk a lot about how they have to deal with comments. They get nice little things, yes, but some of them are really stressed. Like, they stay away from their comments for days because they don't feel like looking at they're ugly, they're fat, their mother's ugly and she's probably fat. They don't like what you have on. They don't like your makeup. They don't like the fact that you don't have on makeup. They're like, or they disagree with what you're talking about to like a very long extent. It's like they go on and on and on and on. Okay. And the thing is, Andy may be different. Okay. But Andy knows
I'm very different.
I mean,
I'm always different.
But she knows that I don't really have the demeanor to deal with a lot of that BS. Okay. So I'm like this. When Andy and I come on here, even for our chats, even though the Love and Libations is like part plans with the subject, but we don't sit down and write notes about the subject.
Mm-mm.
But I'm 49, Andy's 69, and the thing is
Why did you say that?
Oh, she doesn't care. If I don't care, you shouldn't care. So anyway, we're here to say what we have to and want to say in the way that we want to say it. We've lived enough of life to have experienced the things that we talk about. We have our own thoughts about different things. We both have been avid readers, and studied a lot, of cultures, of religions, of forms of spirituality, and we've lived a lot of it. And so when we say something, basically what I'm trying to say is that we're saying it because that's what we have seen. That's what we believe. And, somebody in the comments going on and on and on and on and on about how that's not their experience. We really don't care. Okay. This is our platform. I'm certainly not going to even take the time to read a bunch of comments. I mean, I appreciate people watching. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate that very much. But what I don't appreciate is someone trying to reconstruct our ideas of that particular show by just going on and on and on and on. That's not what we're here for. This is a platform that we have created. We're two grown women, okay, and we have our own ideas. We are open to people who are wise, who are well-read, who are well-lived, and all that. And that can be a person of any age. Okay. But what we're not open to is the nonsense. So if you have something to say to us, and if it's still nonsense and you email it, it's going to be deleted. so so if you take your time to email something, we hope that it's productive, that it's sharing. Maybe there's something that you would like for us to address or to talk about. We'll be glad to do that. But also the trolls and all of that, yes, we're fat and ugly. we, we don't need for you to write anything to us, but our email is iwondersisterhood@gmail.com. And we are also always on Instagram at iwondersisters. So you can go ahead and DM us if you have a request or you want something made clear, or you have a suggestion of a topic. You can go ahead and reach us through those two ways. And our blog is iwondersisterhood.com, and there's contacts on there, like a contact page. You can go ahead and fill that out, and we will certainly get back to you. But the comments will never be turned on because we just don't have that kind of time. Okay. Now,
Now,
after I've brought the harsh news, today we're talking about appreciation between women. And we thought that was, since we're coming across so many women that inspire us, that we adore and admire and love their gifts, and we're inspired by your gifts, we decided to just spend some time chatting about that. And I'm just going to go ahead and toss it to Andy because remember we were talking about how a lot of men, they play us by, doing these comedy acts saying women can't get along and
oh yeah, and they love cat fighting and all
Cat
that. I mean, Kim and I are here to help other women empower each other. That's what our goal is. And we have met so many incredible women, especially on Instagram.
yes.
And we've interviewed them. You can go to our blog, iwondersisterhood.com, and see those interviews. The answers to our questions have been
Oh,
gorgeous.
oh my gosh.
Just gorgeous, full of wisdom and insight, and very revealing. They've all been so open to sharing their own stories. And that's so empowering to Kim and me, because they inspire us.
Yes.
They
Very much so.
inspire us to do better, to work
Mhm.
harder, to love more.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true. All those things. I mean, our next interview coming up is with Sherry Sharp, and on Instagram she is at Moon Poetess, and we were finishing up reading her answers to our questions over coffee this morning. And when I got done, Andy said, "Oh, read it to me." So it was like a full reading and everything. And I mean, she's so amazing, and her view and perspective on her own life really inspired me. And literally, when I got done, I was like, woohoo! Like I just felt like, yeah, so encouraged. And I felt like, Sherry was saying that she appreciated us seeing her, really seeing her. And I felt like she sees us.
Mm-hmm.
That she sees what we're trying to do. And so many times between us, we'll question that every now and again, like, do people really see what it is that we are doing? That in the midst of our continuous spiritual growth personally, we are in the midst of that seeking to help other women, and it's our whole life. I mean, the I Wonder Sisters, that's who we are. We're not turning that on at any time when we write, or turning it on here. It's who we are, and it's what we believe through our life experiences. And And just for somebody to actually see us, to really see us, like third eye see us, is just wonderful, and I thank her for that, and her answers were like, doing a reading out of a book. I mean, it's like,
They
she is an
were.
author, clearly she is an author. And so, yes, she inspired me. Like today, I said, I'm going to write. I think one paragraph is pushing, but I'm writing a book. Andy is writing a book called The Pet Sitter. And so she's come across those challenges of, that sticking with it, and you know,
Oh, yeah. I've done pieces on motivation because sometimes just getting myself to move is really an effort. And when I say move, I mean
yeah, like just get going.
leap in and do it. Um, and all writers feel this way.
Yeah.
All artists feel this way. You're faced with a blank canvas, you're faced with a blank computer screen, and you sit there and think, okay, now what the fuck am I going to do?
Yeah.
And sometimes you have no idea. And I had a therapist once who used to say to me, he was a cognitive therapist, drove me around the bend because he was all into um, taking action. And when I'm unmotivated, the last thing I want is action.
Yeah.
And he once said to me about the pet sitter, write a sentence, just write a sentence.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about that is it's like with journaling, you sit down with your journal and you think, okay, now what kind of shit do I want to say today?
Yeah.
And you write a sentence, and then all of a sudden the wellspring comes,
Yeah.
and you're writing paragraphs. And it's the same thing with my book. If I write a sentence every day, I usually end up writing more.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, that's true. That's true. And it just brought up for me, Andy and I got the idea to interview ourselves. We're going to do that soon because, you think you know yourself, and you may well know yourself. But it would really be interesting for us to trade questions about one another, um, because it can bring up things that you've never thought about yourself. Like you don't even know. Like sometimes I take those tests. What goddess are you? And things like that. And I come to a question and I'm like, I have no idea what I think about this. And so we're going to do that soon. But I wanted to ask you, Andy, in say, in our times now, someone who is, still living in our era, what woman um could you bring to mind that does motivate you and inspire you during those times? Not that you use that thought all the time, but who would that be if you had to pick someone?
Oh my goodness. There are so many. There are so many. There was a time I would have said Susan Sarandon, but because she didn't vote for Hillary, I mean, I was a Bernie supporter too, as well as she, but um, at the at the 11th hour, she didn't come over, and so she kind of lost me. I love Emma Thompson. Emma Thompson, I love her because she is an activist who doesn't advertise it. Um, she's a feminist. Um, she believes in global warming. She is an inspired artist. I love her work. Um, and I will be her in my next life.
Now, see, those were a lot of things that I didn't know about Emma Thompson. And also, I didn't know that about Susan Sarandon either. Andy is active in the political machine. So,
Marginally.
yeah, but I wasn't, I had totally given up until I met Andy. And, and now I've come to realize that whatever little part, whatever little role I play, I mean, it's great. I could do so much more than what I do. I think I'm at that stage now where I'm just informing myself because I
Mm.
wasn't informed at all. I mean, I had totally given up completely. And when Andy would talk about things, I wouldn't even know what she was talking about. I just was like, I'm done. And now in my growth over the past year, I can say that I am in a stage where I feel like I want to be informed, and I do want to have an opinion, and I do want that opinion to be counted, to be heard, so that's a part of my growth for this year. But
Who would
I
you
would
pick?
think, well, the first person that comes to my mind is Erica Badu.
I knew you were going to say her. I knew it. I knew it.
And yeah, if you don't know who she is, Google her. ERYKAHBADU. She started out as a poet, and she was one of the first, what they call the neo soul genre of music. She was one of the first conscious artists that became a star. People listened to her music, even if they really weren't sure what she was talking about, and now I mean, she's been around since she was in her very early 20s, and now she is in her 40s. And she's grown. I saw an interview with her not too long ago, and, she doesn't record like she used to. She does a lot of collaborations and things like that, and a lot of writing. But I saw an interview with her, and I was just so impressed because she had just become more of Erica. I expected maybe that, oh, she might have grown out of what I thought she was. No, who she was then is who she really is. So the head wrap and the dreadlocks and the spiritual tattoos and all the things that made her Erica, that's really, really who she is, and she's just become more of that. And she is a woman that she has very strong ideas about her own life. But what I like about her is the fact that really your life, um, she's finding, she said, a lot of young women coming to her, and writing her. And when she goes for interviews, people have questions like, yeah, the girls in the studio heard you were coming, and they're like, oh, I have a question for her about life, about men, about relationships and period, about friendships, about women. And she's finding herself, doing segments called Ask Erica, and she doesn't BS you around. It's like she either has an opinion about it or she doesn't, but she's wise and talented and weird and wonderful, and she inspires me a lot. I mean, sometimes I just pull up her picture, some of her performances, and I just get motivated. I get like, um, really truly inspired to continue to be creative and to not have to be perfect about it and all of that, and yeah, so that's my one person, although I respect and admire a lot of women.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Me
really,
too.
and of course, women that are not famous, like Andy said.
There's a woman that we peripherally know because of our dog rescues. Her
Oh
name is
yes.
Felicia Conde,
Oh yeah.
and she fosters dogs every week before they get sent to Colorado or Utah to find their forever homes. And she
Yeah.
gets new dogs in every week.
Mm,
She's got to have a house full of dogs.
yes.
She takes in sick ones. She takes in well ones,
Mm-hmm.
big ones and
Pregnant.
tiny ones. Yup. And she's a hero of mine
Yeah. Yeah.
because Kim and I have often talked about the fact that we couldn't ever foster because letting them go would be too
Mm.
hard.
Yeah.
And Felicia does it on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Every week, she puts up pictures of her new fosters and talks about them and what their personalities are like. And then she writes when they're shipped off because a lot of these dogs have rescues behind them and get driven to other states.
Yes.
And she helps arrange all that.
Yeah, we
And
don't know how she does it. She
no,
has, of course, her own animals,
yeah, yeah.
and and it's wonderful to see, and it's wonderful that she has. I mean, we need more people like her because it's wonderful that she has a spirit by which she can love, take it, and give love, and then let go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something we know. Our Maxie was supposed to be a foster. He was a foster for 5 minutes over the phone.
Yeah.
We had named him and everything, and by the time he was brought to us, he had his shots and his papers, and the other lady, Maureen, who also works tirelessly for these animals, just handed him all over with everything. So all his paperwork and all of that.
He's at
And
the door.
speaking of Maxie, yeah, he wants to come in now. So he was supposed to be a foster when we first started chatting with Maureen online, and this woman doesn't sleep over these animals, and it's just bigger than life what they do to me. It's one thing to love, but it's another thing to be able to let go and to know ahead of time that you are going to have to let go.
Mm-hmm.
And trust also that these animals are going to a good place, which they work to make sure of that.
Mm-hmm.
They're not just trying to shuffle them along. No, they'll keep them. They will keep them before they turn them over to someone who may appear as someone who doesn't really have the proper home, for these animals. So
I mean, these rescue organizations vet the potential
yeah,
home and know in advance that these dogs are going to someplace safe,
yes,
someplace full of love,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's incredible.
yeah. What
It's
they do.
incredible.
And so, I mean, that's two women that inspire us all the time. And Andy and I always say we have another dream that we have that's the same, is that should one day we have our own land. And we would build spaces, for to keep dogs and to foster dogs, and to even work with vets who would help us in case we would have to take in a dog that needs care. We really imagine this whole sort of like retreat, a safe place for these animals to be loved, and then we would be the ones to find homes for them. And sometimes we're dreaming of more space that is ours. I mean, we have endless space here now, but we're renters. We're dreaming of a lot of space to be able to do what we want with the land. And that would be one thing that we would do with the land, is
Yeah.
have some really comfortable spaces for them to be in, because of course they, all of them couldn't be in the house, but to have really comfortable kennel like spaces, outside, and have playtime, and things like that. So that's another thing that we have had in common, and just brought up one day and said, oh, before I leave this planet, I would love to do that. So we've done it in our own little way, with the animals that we have, but one day we would like to do it in a big way. So yeah, so those are women that we really, really, truly admire, and they inspire us. And oh my goodness, it's almost a half hour.
Oh my God.
So so And we've talked about a couple other women that, we really, have grown to care about on Instagram. And that's Yari, Moody Thursday. She's at Moody Thursday and moodythursday.com. She's at Moody Thursday on Instagram. And Nim's Divination, Bree. I gave her a nickname. I call her Breeby now. And how the rappers are like Breezy, Jeezy, Deezy.
So she's Breeby.
She's Breeby. So she's at Nim's Divination. There's an underscore between Nims, NYMS underscore divination. And she's on Periscope a lot too, at just Nims Divination, no underscore, I'm sure, on Periscope. But she really, really dedicates herself to Periscope. And they at Periscope actually sent her like I think it's like a little plaque. They sent her some socks and like a box of hearts. You know how you send those hearts up on then they go up on. They sent her a box of hearts like that and everything for actually being devoted to using Periscope.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I thought that was so cute, and she has a video on that. But yeah, they have been extremely inspiring, and we really admire both of them for
And
what they
we
do.
interviewed them as well.
Yes, so
if
they're
you
on
go
it.
to iwondersisterhood.com, you'll
Yeah.
find all our interviews. We've
Yes.
interviewed several people now.
Yes, exactly. And you just click the interviews tab. It's very easy to find, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, how did they find such wise women? And it's like, we're drawing them to us. We're all like kind of sharing the same space and the same work, and it's really a wonderful feeling. If you don't have that, believe that it can happen for you. I know that many of you out there are in spaces, especially in your careers and work life, where you feel like an alien, amongst other people. But focus on drawing to you the right experience, the right environment, and the right people, because it feels so good, and it will keep you energized. When so much is going on in life that really is very heavy right now. It'll keep you energized and keep you creating. And it'll motivate you. You'll have people to watch. I watch Bree's videos. I watch Yari's videos. Sherry has a channel where she focuses on the art and the healing of art, that I just found out not too long ago. So you'll have a support base that, will just kind of keep you fed spiritually. So, okay. Anything else? This was quite enjoyable.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Cheers,
everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Look for an upload on this coming Sunday, and it'll be part 5 of the Goddess series. Oh, and what we're going to do after that, let me get this in quick, is Andy and I are known for radical self-acceptance. So for the next 5 weeks after this coming Sunday, we're going to be telling you what that means to us, and we're going to be bringing it into the real world. What does that mean to radically accept myself? And so we're going to take different parts of life and show you what that looks like, what that decision looks like in that part of your life, and how it can improve that part of your life. So that's what's next. But there's always going to be a Sunday series. So still, if you have any ideas, just email us at iwondersisterhood@gmail.com or hit us up on Instagram at iwondersisters. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Mwah.
Mwah.